What is your name and what do you do?
My name is Noel, and I'm a third-year law student at Nokia Paris. And I also have recently started volunteering for an organization called ISEC Sciences Po, and I'm now currently the VP of Marketing and Communications.
Where are you from?
I grew up abroad, and now I'm living in Paris.
What was your reality before you followed the work-life balance workshop?
That I was still doing essentially the same activities, but I would always have maybe 4 or 5 hours where I wouldn't be, where actually I found out that I hadn't been doing enough, and it was hard just to follow a linear kind of plan. For example, like take the example of running. I wanted to do it once every day, except that there would be certain days where I hadn't decided when I would do it. That would more or less just give me the possibility to kind of put it off, procrastinate a little bit, and then eventually it would never get done. That's just a smaller example from that.
How's your reality now? Do you have a specific tangible result as well?
Well, my reality now is just that I guess it's even just like a state of mind. I feel better, and also it's not just that I feel better, but I feel better because I'm doing more. For example, I have been struggling with balancing up work and school to make sure that both worked. What I've managed to do now is that thanks to this, I managed to even add a third activity, which is volunteering for ISEC, and it helped me even to try to fulfill a role which demands like a lot more responsibility and a lot more time.
Did you find it an easy process to apply the principles in your life?
It wasn't easy in the beginning, but after 3 or 4 days of just giving yourself like a simple task, for example, getting up at 8, having a breakfast and going out for a run, and just knowing that it's kind of mechanical at the same time, and just knowing that it makes it easier to do. You're kind of setting goals against yourself, and it's fun to tick off the little box at the side. And you feel good about that. You feel like you already accomplished something.
What have you learned from the experience? Did a certain belief or mindset that you had change?
If you do your planning the day before, it kind of cuts out any extra time that you would be having, which is just when you sit down, you're kind of thinking like, okay, I have 5, 6, 7 things that I need to do. Which one should I do first? Where should I go? Which is usually how you end up losing a lot of time. Or then you can also see where you need to cut time on. It's really just that. It's for the feedback of knowing where your time is going, and that's what I think is the most interesting thing about it.
Describe your experience so far.
What's fun to do is kind of like to play around with it. For example, like you've been doing like 3-4 hours of studying a day, let's say, and then you have maybe like 3 or 4 hours which kind of are spaced around during the day that you fill up usually with just watching something, reading a book or something like that. It's just interesting to see like how much you can manage to put that into different kind of categories, and then it can actually keep your interest in it. Because I find it very hard to stay concentrated on something for longer than 45 hours. I think that you need a little break afterwards, and then to get right back in it, I think it's the only way you can really stay productive on a certain task.
Would you recommend the workshop or the book to people, and if so, why?
I'd recommend the book and workshop to people because it's something that you do already. You make your to-do list, you put it to the side, you slowly start ticking things off as your day progresses and everything like that, but this is kind of taking another step. You kind of cut out the process of what do I do in between this and this task.